And you, Peter, I shall build my church. And on you, Peter, I shall build my church. I think about all the churches these days, and I wonder what Peter would say about church today. What would Peter say about the Catholic Church and the things they do? What would Peter say about the Protestant churches? You know, the Methodists and the Episcopalians and all those ones that have feathered off from things, different denominations. What he'd say about denominations, I don't know. What did Peter say about the Baptist church? There's a lot of interesting things. Some of these churches might be like the John's letter to the churches. There, it'd be, I have a encouragement for you. I have a rebuke for you. I got to thinking also about that. So, what would Peter say about Joel Osteen, Kenneth Copeland, John Hagee, Benny Hinn, Joyce Meyer, Creflo Dollar, all these prosperity preachers? What would he say about them? What would he say about I'm sure, I'm not going to be one talking for Peter here, but I'm sure he would say something about these people furthering their kingdom and not God's. Using the will of the people to get all the money from the people. There are a lot of churches out there to get a lot of money from gullible people. What would he say about the modern day Christian? That's the next question I would ask. It would be interesting to say. The modern day Christian, the one who says they're Christian but doesn't act like it, doesn't live it in life. What would he say to us? I'm putting myself in that boat too. Sometimes I don't act Christian, sometimes I don't follow what the Bible says, and then I got to repent about it. What would he say to the people who get all upset about the non-essential things? The people who leave the church because they decided to paint the sanctuary a color they didn't approve of. Or the churches that decide that they're going to do something different and something radical for the kingdom that they're just totally not on board with. I wonder what Peter would say about these people who the church starts a Bible study or a small group, and they kind of encourage people to join, but they're just thinking, man, that is just too rigid. Every single week we got to be here? What would Peter say about that? I could say, what would God say about this? But God will speak to you in grace and understanding. Peter would speak with you attack and rebuke. He would give you the word that God gave him. Said, on him I shall build my church, Jesus said. So what would Peter say in the whole situation about how his church is being ran? God's church. What would Peter say about things? There's a situation that comes to mind, and it's coming through fruition today, I believe. It would be yesterday for you guys, because this is recorded today ahead of schedule. But there's a man that I know in a church that I go that he's been through a lot of stuff. He's been accused of some very nasty thing, and he got arrested, formality arrested, so that, they could bring him to trial on these things. And he hasn't been proven guilty. He has not been proven innocent. He's not been proven anything. State's attorney says that there's no case. And they're trying to get a plea out of the guy, trying to get the people to, drop the charges, and nothing's really happening there. That being said, he has been ran through the ringer. There's a lot of people who have left this church because this guy's still up on stage. He's still part of the ministry team. What would Peter say about that situation? The guy hasn't been proven innocent. He's not been proven guilty. There's charges against him, but where's that at? I think of the Corinthian church in that. And how a guy actually was doing the thing that he was doing, and he repented of it, and he stopped doing what he was doing. And the people still were cross about it. What do you say about them people? You need to give this guy grace, give him compassion. A lot of people have left that church because of that situation. My personal opinion is the safest place for that man to be would be up on that stage. Because then you don't have people psychologically, mentally getting to him in the crowd and quiet. Plus, if he was guilty of the thing that he did, You have him up on stage with a camera on him and lights versus him in the crowd where he can slip away and do things to another person. You know, just think about that, people. That being said, my spiel has ended. We're at the 5-minute mark, and I always try to keep these around 5. It always goes close to 6, really. So I'm going to put a word here. Put this word in the comment. Now, let me know that you made it clear to the end of this video. And today's word is going to be church. So if you can put church somewhere in the comments below, I know that you made it clear to the end of this video. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.